need to make sure that our students are getting involved with our board more than they are right now. But we have put in, and we did, this board made sure that we had student representatives on the board who have a chance to speak at meeting. We went to the city attorney about whether they could vote or not, and we would need to change some laws to make that happen. I think one of the things we could do is related to the civics initiative that I mentioned earlier, and that is we, and the election commission has been working with us, we are making sure that the children in Milwaukee public schools participate in mock elections in the schools, fall and spring. And the election commission has been great because they've been giving us real ballots to make that, real sample ballots, to make, so that those children get a chance to see what they look like, so that they grow up understanding that it's part of their life to take responsibility for the governance of the system. And in fact, if you look around the country at the mayoral boards of control, the one thing that you see is that parents and students have lost their voice. In New York City, parents have lost their voice. If you look at the New York Times, the people who like the mayoral system are the education contractors and all the people who are making money off of education, because the no-bid contracts have gone through the roof, hundreds of millions of dollars, Diane Ravitch writes. The people who are opposed in the New York Times, just look at the letters, are parents, number one, and teachers, because they have no voice. The entry to democracy is the public education system. We must preserve it. We must create better citizens, not take their right to vote, not take their duty to vote away.
One of the things I do is I visit schools a lot, and I ask the children, and it gets their attention very quickly. I say, can I have a show of hands in this room, and it's usually an auditorium, for anybody here who likes money? Needless to say, every hand in the room goes up. And then what I do is I show them a chart, and the chart tells you how much you can make, or how much on average you'll make if you're a high school dropout. And the average is about $18,000 a year, about $9 an hour. If you graduate from high school, it goes up to $25,000, $28,000. And if you have a college degree, it's between $40,000 and $53,000. And I do that to engage them, to let them know how important this is to their future. And so I think it's important that we engage the young people in a real way. Because I've got kids, I've got teenagers of my own. I know what they respond to. They like video games, they like hanging out with their friends, and that's the level you have to talk to them about. But we had the reference to New York, and that finishes this comment, and I think it really captures the essence of why this is so important to me. About 4 weeks ago, the governor and I met with Joel Klein. Joel Klein is the chancellor of the New York City school system. He's had that job since 2002. And as we were finishing our evening meeting, I said, okay, I'm going to go back to Milwaukee. And I'm going to drop your name, that I met with Chancellor Joel Klein. What do you want him to say at your funeral? What do you want him to say that you accomplished as a result of this? And he said, well, in 2002, when I came in, we had 16,000 students who graduated from New York City high schools that went on to college or technical school. Last year, that number was 24,000, an increase of 50% in 7 years. And he said, of that 8,000 student increase, 3/4 or 6,000 of them were children of color. That's why this is important to me, because I want to see more children of color from this community go on to MATC, to UWM, other schools like that.